There are still places on Earth where silence is broken only by the wind, where rivers follow paths carved long before the first cities were built, and where landscapes remain so isolated that even many people living nearby have never experienced them firsthand. In an age when satellites map nearly every corner of the planet and millions of travelers share their journeys online every day, it may seem impossible for true hidden wonders to remain undiscovered. Yet beyond the famous landmarks that dominate guidebooks and social media lies another world, one shaped by distance, rugged terrain, and the enduring power of nature. These are places that have escaped widespread attention not because they lack beauty, but because reaching them often demands patience, determination, and respect for the environments that protect them. They remind us that exploration is not only about traveling farther, but about seeing more deeply, understanding more carefully, and appreciating the extraordinary diversity that still exists across our planet. Throughout history, exploration has always been driven by curiosity. Ancient traders crossed deserts in search of distant markets. Sailors ventured across unknown oceans guided only by the stars, and explorers climbed mountains believing that every horizon concealed another mystery. Many of the world's most celebrated discoveries were once hidden behind natural barriers that seemed impossible to cross. Dense forests concealed civilizations, towering mountain ranges separated entire cultures, and vast oceans isolated islands for centuries. Although technology has dramatically changed the way people travel and communicate, geography continues to shape what remains known and what remains hidden. The idea of a hidden place often inspires images of secret valleys or forgotten temples, but in reality, hidden wonders take many different forms. Forests provide another layer of protection for hidden landscapes. Tropical rainforests contain some of the greatest concentrations of biodiversity on Earth, yet much of their interior remains difficult to access. Thick vegetation, winding rivers, steep terrain, and seasonal flooding create natural obstacles that have preserved ecosystems for thousands of years. Scientists continue discovering new species of insects, amphibians, plants, and even mammals in forests that have been studied for decades. These discoveries demonstrate that even today, our understanding of Earth's biodiversity remains incomplete. Climate also plays a powerful role in keeping certain places hidden. In high mountain regions, heavy snowfall may block access for much of the year, while glaciers and seasonal rivers constantly reshape the landscape. Deserts experience extreme temperatures that make travel dangerous outside limited seasons, and tropical storms can isolate coastal regions for weeks at a time. In polar environments, sea ice expands and retreats with changing seasons, opening and closing routes that have existed for centuries. Nature itself decides when many of these places can safely be reached, ensuring that they remain relatively undisturbed despite advances in technology. Not all hidden places are remote because of natural obstacles. Some remain intentionally protected through careful conservation efforts. Governments, indigenous communities, scientists, and environmental organizations increasingly recognize that certain ecosystems cannot withstand unrestricted tourism. Sensitive caves contain delicate mineral formations that require thousands of years to develop. Coral reefs support complex marine ecosystems, easily damaged by pollution or careless visitors. Ancient archaeological sites preserve fragile structures that slowly deteriorate under excessive human activity. Protecting these places often means limiting access, balancing public appreciation with long-term preservation. The knowledge held by local and indigenous communities has played a crucial role in safeguarding many hidden landscapes. Every hidden landscape tells a story, written over immense spans of time. Mountains rise through the movement of tectonic plates. Rivers patiently carve valleys over millions of years. Forests regenerate after storms and fires, creating habitats for countless forms of life. Coral reefs slowly grow through the work of tiny marine organisms, while glaciers sculpt entire mountain ranges as they advance and retreat across the landscape. Human history represents only a brief moment within these much longer natural processes. Recognizing this perspective encourages humility, reminding us that we are visitors in environments shaped long before.
Perhaps the greatest lesson hidden wonders offer is that discovery is not measured solely by distance. Sometimes the most extraordinary places exist just beyond familiar roads, overlooked because they demand curiosity rather than convenience. They encourage slower travel, deeper observation, and greater appreciation for the intricate relationships that connect landscapes, wildlife, and people. In a rapidly changing world, these remarkable locations stand as reminders that nature still possesses the power to surprise us. They invite us to look beyond the obvious, to value preservation over exploitation, and to understand that some of Earth's greatest treasures are not defined by how many people have seen them, but by how carefully they have been protected. As our journey continues, we will travel into some of the world's most remarkable hidden mountains, secluded valleys, and ancient forests, exploring landscapes where time, geography, and nature have combined to create wonders that remain among the most extraordinary places on Earth. Our journey now leads into some of the most secluded mountain landscapes on Earth, where towering peaks, isolated valleys, and ancient forests have protected remarkable ecosystems and cultures for centuries. Mountains have always shaped the course of human history. They form natural borders, influence weather patterns, give birth to rivers, and create environments unlike any found on lower ground. While many famous mountain destinations attract visitors from around the world, countless valleys, forests, and alpine regions remain hidden behind rugged terrain, accessible only to those willing to venture beyond. Andes Mountains of South America conceal cloud forests draped across steep slopes. Moist air rising from lower elevations cools rapidly, creating a nearly constant blanket of mist that nourishes extraordinary biodiversity. Mosses, orchids, ferns, and towering trees thrive in these cool, humid conditions, while colorful birds, elusive mammals, and countless insects occupy different layers of the forest. Even today, biological surveys continue to discover previously undocumented species within these mountain ecosystems, illustrating how much remains unknown despite decades of scientific research. Mountain forests perform another essential role that often goes unnoticed. They act as enormous natural reservoirs, capturing rainfall and slowly releasing water into rivers that sustain millions of people downstream. Snow accumulating on high peaks melts gradually during warmer seasons, feeding streams that support agriculture, drinking water supplies, and hydroelectric power generation across entire regions. Protecting mountain ecosystems therefore benefits not only wildlife, but also human communities living hundreds of kilometers away. Healthy forests stabilize soils, reduce erosion, and help regulate water quality throughout vast river systems. In North America, remote sections of mountain wilderness continue to preserve some of the continent's oldest forests. Massive conifer trees rise above thick carpets of moss, while clear rivers wind through valleys largely unchanged for centuries. These forests provide critical habitat for bears, wolves, mountain lions, and countless smaller species whose survival depends on extensive, undisturbed landscapes. Fallen trees gradually return nutrients to the soil, creating a continuous cycle of growth, decay, and renewal that has sustained these ecosystems for thousands of years. The forests of Eastern Europe and parts of Central Europe also contain ancient woodland, where natural ecological processes continue with minimal human interference. Some of these forests preserve tree species that have survived since the end of the last ice age, offering scientists valuable opportunities to study long-term ecosystem development.
Perhaps the greatest gift offered by hidden mountains, valleys, and forests is perspective. Standing beneath towering cliffs or walking through an ancient woodland reminds us that the natural world operates on timescales far beyond our own. The forests surrounding us may have begun growing before modern nations existed. Rivers have followed their courses for thousands of years, and mountains themselves continue to rise and erode through forces that shape continents over millions of years. These landscapes invite patience, curiosity, and humility. They demonstrate that true wilderness is not defined simply by the absence of people, but by the presence of healthy ecosystems functioning according to natural rhythms. As we continue our journey, we leave the towering mountains behind and descend toward another hidden world, one concealed not among the clouds but beneath the Earth's surface, where vast cave systems, underground rivers, and geological wonders reveal some of the planet's most astonishing secrets. As our journey leaves the towering mountains behind, we descend into a world that few people ever have the opportunity to witness. Beneath forests, valleys, deserts, and even bustling cities lies an immense hidden landscape, shaped not by sunlight or wind, but by darkness, water, and time. This underground world stretches for thousands of kilometers through networks of caves, tunnels, rivers, and vast chambers that have been forming for millions of years. Although invisible from the surface, these hidden environments preserve some of the most remarkable geological features on Earth and support unique ecosystems that continue to surprise scientists. Every descent into a cave is more than an adventure. It is a journey backward through Earth's history, where each layer of stone records countless ages of environmental change. Most of the world's largest cave systems formed within thick layers of limestone, a sedimentary rock created over hundreds of millions of years from the remains of ancient marine organisms. Perhaps the greatest gift offered by hidden mountains, valleys, and forests is perspective. Standing beneath towering cliffs or walking through an ancient woodland reminds us that the natural world operates on timescales far beyond our own. The forests surrounding us may have begun growing before modern nations existed. Rivers have followed their courses for thousands of years, and mountains themselves continue to rise and erode through forces that shape continents over millions of years. These landscapes invite patience, curiosity, and humility. They demonstrate that true wilderness is not defined simply by the absence of people, but by the presence of healthy ecosystems functioning according to natural rhythms. As we continue our journey, we leave the towering mountains behind and descend toward another hidden world, one concealed not among the clouds but beneath the Earth's surface, where vast cave systems, underground rivers, and geological wonders reveal some of the planet's most astonishing secrets. As our journey leaves the towering mountains behind, we descend into a world that few people ever have the opportunity to witness. Beneath forests, valleys, deserts, and even bustling cities lies an immense hidden landscape, shaped not by sunlight or wind, but by darkness, water, and time. This underground world stretches for thousands of kilometers through networks of caves, tunnels, rivers, and vast chambers that have been forming for millions of years. Although invisible from the surface, these hidden environments preserve some of the most remarkable geological features on Earth and support unique ecosystems that continue to surprise scientists. Every descent into a cave is more than an adventure. It is a journey backward through Earth's history, where each layer of stone records countless ages of environmental change. Most of the world's largest cave systems formed within thick layers of limestone, a sedimentary rock created over hundreds of millions of years from the remains of ancient marine organisms. During periods when much of today's land lay beneath shallow tropical seas, shells, corals, and microscopic sea creatures accumulated on the seafloor. Over immense spans of time, these deposits were compressed into solid rock. Long after the seas disappeared and mountains rose above them, rainwater began a slow transformation.
Elsewhere, vast cave systems continue to reveal new discoveries. The Mammoth Cave System in the United States forms the longest known cave network on Earth, with hundreds of kilometers of mapped passages and many sections still awaiting exploration. In Slovenia, the Škocjan Caves contain one of the largest underground river canyons ever discovered, where powerful currents carved dramatic chambers beneath the karst plateau over countless millennia. Across Europe, Asia, the Americas, and other regions, cave exploration remains an active field of scientific research, with new passages regularly being mapped using advanced surveying technology. Water remains the architect of nearly every underground landscape. Hidden rivers flow silently through darkness, following pathways established over millions of years. These rivers dissolve rock, transport minerals, and gradually reshape entire cave systems. Unlike surface rivers that respond quickly to changing weather, underground waterways often move through complex networks of passages, disappearing beneath one mountain before emerging many kilometers away as springs that feed lakes and larger rivers. In many regions, these hidden water systems provide essential freshwater supplies for nearby communities, making them valuable not only as natural wonders, but also as critical components of regional ecosystems. The ceilings of limestone caves often display spectacular mineral formations known as stalactites, while the cave floor gradually builds matching stalagmites below. Both are created through an exceptionally slow process. Water dripping from the cave ceiling carries tiny amounts of dissolved calcium carbonate. As each drop releases carbon dioxide into the cave air, a minute layer of mineral is deposited.